My name is Rag Reynolds and welcome back to Medium Rare, and today we have three main stories to talk about. But before we get into the three main stories that I'd like to talk about, I would first like to give a little update to this whole YouTube taking away verification situation. So if you're not caught up, essentially what's been going on is YouTube had started sending out emails to a lot of creators on the platform, some with millions of subscribers, some with hundreds of thousands. There was no discrimination between the sizes of these channels, and what they were telling them was that they no longer fit the criteria for verification on YouTube. And YouTube then came out with a statement saying they were cracking down on who was verified because some people were apparently finding it confusing. They also said that you could no longer apply for channel verification and that the staff would be handing it out automatically. Now, the reason I wanted to talk about this is because YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki has recently come out with a statement clarifying some of this stuff and kind of walking back on some of it as well. On Twitter, she posted, "We heard loud and clear how much the badge means to you. Channels that currently have verification will now keep it without appeal. We'll continue reviewing those channels to ensure we're protecting creators from impersonation. Like in the past, channels that reach 100k subs will be eligible to apply for verification. To better clarify how channels will qualify, we've updated the eligibility criteria here." Now, obviously, this is great news because she's come out and she said, okay, people can still apply when they hit 100k, and the people who are already verified are going to stay verified. So that's great news, great changes. I mean, I don't understand why they tried to make these changes in the first place, but it's great to know that these changes are no longer going ahead in the same way that they were before. Anyway, let's move on to our first news story that I would like to talk about, and Area 51, this event, okay, this is a lot. So, a little while back, there was a Facebook group, a Facebook event set up, and people were saying, let's raid Area 51, they can't stop all of us. Millions of people signed up to this event, and over this past weekend, the raid was supposed to take place, and people kind of turned up. There are reports that say around 1,500 people in total were in the area to go to festivals and partake in festivities, and around 75 actually managed to get up to the gates in front of Area 51. Now, nothing really big happened. I mean, there were a few arrests, only a handful. I saw somewhere between 5 and 10. Another place said specifically 7 arrests. One guy was even arrested for peeing on the gate or next to the gate. But most people seemed to just be there for the joke. They weren't really interested in actually storming Area 51, although there was this video posted on Twitter of this old lady just storming right ahead. She clearly had no F's to give. But hey, the best part of this entire thing is probably got to be the clip of that guy Naruto running. You know, I'm sure you might have seen this on social media, this guy Naruto running in the background of this news report. That is iconic. Other news outlets were showing videos of lots of people also Naruto running along outside Area 51. Overall, I think this whole event was very amusing. There's a lot of memes that have come out of it, a lot of iconic scenes. But overall, yeah, it wasn't serious. No one found any aliens, just as... I don't think anyone expected anyone to find aliens. I mean, the good thing is no one died, because there were people who were genuinely concerned that people might die, because the military were authorized to use lethal force on anyone who actually tried to storm Area 51, so it's just good to know that that didn't happen. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is PewDiePie's PewNews. So, in a returning episode of PewDiePie's series PewNews, where he reports on internet news, PewDiePie gave his reasoning as to why he has no longer been making PewNews videos.
Not everyone, but I think majority of people don't think for themselves. They just go with the popular trend or whatever everyone else is thinking. Be like, oh, this person is bad, and this person is bad. Oh, we need to do something about this, and then... oh, actually, oh, they didn't do anything bad at all. Oh, okay. And it happened like right after the whole James Charles thing, where everyone was so sure that James Charles was the worst. And then that whole thing got flip-flopped as well. And it's like all these ideas are like diseases that are just spread. And I don't like it. And it's part of the reason why I stopped doing PewNews, because I hate playing it into all this drama that it doesn't mean anything. Like, there's been so many things happening while I haven't been doing PewNews, and I can't even recite one of them because it doesn't matter. everyone forgets about it a week after. Like, no one should actually spend their time caring about these things. It's a waste of time. I don't want to spend my life caring about these things. Trust me, I'm doing you a favor by not doing PewNews.
So as you just heard, PewDiePie has said that he thinks internet drama is a waste of time. He doesn't think it's good, he thinks it's bad. He thinks that people don't really think for themselves these days. People just jump on the bandwagon and listen along. And, you know, I agree with him mostly. I agree with him entirely about how people will jump on James Charles and say, oh, this person's cancelled, and then suddenly, oh, we're wrong, they're uncancelled. And if you disagree with that mob mentality while it's going on, then you're shunned as well, and you're just terrible and whatever else. So I agree with him there. He also said something about how there are so many things that happen and no one really remembers what has happened because it's all so insignificant. And he's right to an extent there as well. However, where I maybe don't agree with him is that he says it's a waste of time. I don't think it's all a waste of time. Some of this stuff is serious. Some of this stuff needs to be reported on. One example of something serious that has happened was the Etika situation. That was something that was technically internet drama, and I think the whole Etika tragedy was something that definitely needed to be reported on. Another example would be the Ray Diaz situation. This guy who's abusing this girl. This guy needed to be reported on, and that reporting and the whole thing came to light because of online channels on YouTube. So I think there are certainly instances where drama is important to talk about. These are some more serious situations, obviously, whereas a lot of the stuff that people will talk about tends to be more for the viewers' benefit. Is a bit more about entertainment and that sort of thing, but there are certainly lots of little individual bits of drama that are more serious and that are very much necessary to talk about, and I think it's very hard to argue that they are wastes of time, because stuff like Etika or Ray Diaz, as I just mentioned, those things are not wastes of time. Those are very important subjects, and I think they're things that need to be spoken about. But hey, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think about this whole PewDiePie PewNews thing, and what your general opinion is on just the idea of reporting on sort of drama and news in this whole YouTube sphere. I'd love to know what you think, so let me know in those comments down below. And the final thing I would like to talk about today is Danielle Cohn. Now, you've maybe heard about this because a lot of people have been talking about it, but Danielle Cohn is a YouTuber who claims to be 15. She's this young girl. She makes strange vlog videos that a lot of people would say are very inappropriate. She posts very inappropriate pictures to her Instagram. Very inappropriate for someone who is 15 years old. I'm not even going to be showing these pictures because I do not feel comfortable showing them, because I just think it's wrong. This girl has brand deals. For example, Bang energy drink. She does like ads for this company while she's standing there in very showing clothing. You know what I'm saying. She is definitely playing to a certain audience of people, and this girl, she has a couple of million subscribers, and it really does frighten me to know that, like, who is watching this girl, this 15-year-old girl, millions of people watching her. It's terrifying. But anyway, the reason I bring her up, if you're not aware, it has recently come out that she is not 15 years old. She has been lying about being 15. Now, 15 is bad enough with all these things that she does, and the fact that these companies are partnering with her to make these posts and these videos while she's holding it. There's something wrong about that entirely, being 15. But she's 13. She's actually 13 years old. And it makes it so much worse. So much worse, a 13-year-old. And you know how we know? Well, there's a few reasons how we know. The first thing, there was a birth certificate leaked. Danielle Cohn's birth certificate was leaked, and I heard it was from her grandmother leaked this birth certificate where you can see she is 13 years old, born in 2006. There was also this long Facebook post from her father, Dustin Cohn, where he went on to condemn basically her entire social media presence and career. He expressed his frustrations with her mother actually letting her do this stuff. He expressed his frustrations with brands such as Bang energy drinks for actually going with a 13-year-old girl when she's doing this sort of stuff. He went on a huge rant, and I must agree with pretty much most of what he says. I completely empathize with what he had to say, and I think he was making a lot of sense. Danielle did respond to this Facebook post on her Instagram story, where she said about how she was so glad to not have a biological father in her life, and she basically trashed her father over these multiple Instagram stories. But what's important to point out is that in that long Facebook post that he posted, he also specifically stated that Danielle was 13 and not 15. And the final way we know that Danielle is actually 13 and not 15 is actually due to Flickr. Now, if you don't know what Flickr is, I guess it's just kind of like a hipster website for uploading images and videos to. And on Flickr, Danielle's mum in the past had uploaded a lot of pictures, and in these pictures had been pictures of Danielle's birth, essentially. And there was a picture of Danielle just after being born in the hospital, and this was uncovered by people online, and in this picture of Danielle's mum and Danielle as a baby, she is wearing a wristband, and on the wristband it clearly says that the date was in 2006, and this lines up with the birth certificate that was released, and this lines up to say that Danielle is actually 13 years old, not 15. So obviously this whole situation is just very concerning. It is pretty gross. It's disgusting. I feel uncomfortable speaking about this. It was bad enough that she was 15, posting these types of things and doing these things that she's doing, but being 13, it's just so much worse. She just gets younger, and people have been talking for a long time about, maybe she's not 15. She's surely younger than that. She's not really 15. But now we finally have the evidence out there that does say for sure that she is only 13 years old, and it's gross because this is a girl she's dated 17-year-olds. I mean, I'm not even going to get into that too much. If you need more information, just a quick Google search and you will find all you need to know about Danielle Cohn. Just check out our YouTube page or our Instagram and you will see exactly what you need to see. Anyway, that's where I'm going to end today's video. Be sure to let me know about what you think about any or all of these stories in those comments down below, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And until next time, my name is Rag Reynolds, this was Medium Rare, and your welcome, society.